I'm Antonio Centeno. I'm the founder of Real Men, Real Style. Today, gentlemen, I'm going to give you 10 tips on how to whiten your teeth. This is the ultimate guide for men on how to use all of the different options out there so that you can have a white, crisp, clean looking smile. Now, before I get into this, guys, I think it's important to talk about why is this important. Why, Antonio, do you even care about this? Shouldn't a man, just go on with his life and just use a bar of soap and never have to worry about, his teeth or anything? Well, it really depends on what you do and what message you want to send. And there's a lot of research out there that backs up, let's just say that over 70% of women are going to look at your teeth and they're going to make a determination on do they want you as a partner. Yes, it's that important. What they're thinking of is, hey, that first kiss. And if you've got horrible looking teeth, if it just looks like there's disease in there, she's not going to want to get close to you. When it comes to salary, 58%. I don't know where this, I looked at the research, it just blew me away, that when it comes to making a hiring decision, you're 58% more likely to get hired if they see you've got a clean, crisp smile versus if you've got really, messed up, really yellow, dark, teeth. I have no idea why this plays into salary. Actually, I sort of do. Because if you think about it, our teeth has to do with, it's a perception of how healthy we are with our body. And I'm sure a lot of this applies, and I've talked about it, to clothing, how fit we are, all of this. But when it comes down to it, you want to present the best you. Me, I get in front of a video camera quite a few times, if you haven't noticed. I also go to conferences, I meet with people live, I speak at events, and it's important to me as a public speaker, as someone that puts his face out there that's very customer facing, that I put my best foot forward. So if you work at a bank, if you're a consultant, if you're a lawyer, if you're someone that you're a construction worker, but you're the manager, you're the foreman, and you actually work with clients face to face, you want to give off the sense of you're healthy, because yellow teeth does not equal attractiveness. And so you want to make sure that you've got a crisp, clean smile so that you're sending that message of trust, that you're healthy, that you're someone that you can do business with, or you're a great partner. Okay, so talked about the why. Guys, like many of the videos I put together up here at Real Men, Real Style, this is backed by research, and I've got a support article over at Real Men, Real Style. I want you to go over to this one in particular, because I've got a PDF download that has links over to the research so you guys can make an informed decision. In addition, I'm going to talk about a number of things. I'm going to go over them pretty quickly in the video, but if you've got a question about, okay, how much hydrogen peroxide is in this thing that I just mentioned, we'll go over and do the research, because when it comes down to it, this is something you're putting into your body. And I want you to know, I did reach out to a number of dentists, spoke with them, but I'm no dentist, I'm no, mouth professional. So make sure that you speak with your dentist, you speak with your doctor before you try to do any of these things, except maybe upgrade your toothbrush, which is one of the tips I'm going to say. But if it's something that you're going to be using some type of treatment, if you're going to be doing something that's a bit out of your comfort zone, again, reach out to a professional. Okay, so let's start off with the types of, let's get into the tooth anatomy. So on the outside of the tooth, we have the enamel. Let's go in a bit, and we've got the dentin, and all the way down the actually nourishing part that brings in blood and food and takes out waste, that is going to be the pulp. Now, guys, we're talking about, and what happens with the enamel is it does over time become colored. You drink coffee, you drink tea, you drink white wine, you eat things which are going to stain the teeth. That's why we start to yellow. It happens naturally over time. It happens because of what we put in our mouth, and it happens because of our habits. If you smoke, you're going to see, obviously, teeth staining. So how can we get rid of this? I'm going to give you guys 10 tips. Now, I'm going to start off in order of probably the easiest one that you can implement. And then I'm going to get into ones which are going to require a little bit more work, possibly require a bit of an investment. But again, if you're a customer facing representative, if you're someone that's out there looking for, a partner, if you're out there in the dating scene, then this is probably something that you want to possibly invest in. Okay, and I will be sharing with you guys my treatment afterwards. So I actually did use one of these. I'm going to go into a lot more detail. That's going to be a separate video, because I'm going to spend a good number of minutes going over exactly how I did that, but that's near the end, and I'll link over to that video. In fact, if you really want to go to it, the video we're going to put right here, so boom, just go to that if you want to see exactly what I used and how I was able to actually get about 5 shades wider over a period of about 2 weeks. Okay, so let's get into point number one. Point number one is simple. Upgrade your toothbrush. If you've had the same toothbrush for, let's say, a year, you need to upgrade. You can really tell because the bristles start to go out on the sides. You see that right there? Yeah. And it doesn't have to be an expensive toothbrush. I got this one from my dentist, and this one works fine. What you want to focus in on the toothbrush is making sure that the bristles look good and that you're using a soft, super soft one. Okay, so let's go to the next part, which is to brush your tongue. The reason you want to brush your tongue is you can leave bacteria on there, or bacteria is always going to be on your tongue, but if you leave residue of food there, you can get a lot of bacteria buildup, and that's going to actually rub off on your teeth and can cause staining. Okay, so point number 3 is to use mouthwash. Most mouthwashes, they're going to actually have, what is it, hydrogen peroxide, and hydrogen peroxide is one of the main ingredients of almost all teeth whitening. Now, there are certain ones out there because some people don't want to put hydrogen peroxide in their mouth, and they do have ones that don't have that, but you're going to have to look and make sure you know what you're looking for. So point number 4 is to eat raw fruits, vegetables, nuts. And why do that? Why eat them raw? Because they're going to be crunchy and they're actually going to do a pretty good job of actually cleaning off the enamel. So it's almost like getting a mini brush. And this is the type of food that's going to naturally clean the teeth. Now, that brings us to point number 5, which is after you eat something or drink something that is acidic. So we're talking oranges, lemons. Make sure to rinse your mouth out. You drink a Coke, rinse your mouth out afterwards because that acid is going to be attacking your teeth and you've only got a set number of hours. That's why they recommend you brush your teeth twice a day because usually my understanding, this is research I read years ago, there's 15 hours between that you've got before it can start doing damage to the enamel of your teeth, although it depends on the strength of the acid. Okay, so point number 6 is to use a whitening toothpaste. Now, there's a wide variety of them, and you want to look for something that's ADA approved. If it's not, you want to look for something that actually has, I think it's called blue coving, and this actually will adhere to the teeth, and it actually creates the illusion of them being wider than they actually are. But usually whitening toothpastes are going to have hydrogen peroxide in them, or they're going to have an agent which is going to slowly work. Now, I have used whitening toothpastes for years, and I find that they're basically, they kind of keep it at bay, but they don't do a good job. They're very, very mild, and I think are one of the easiest ways. If you're you may have to spend an extra $1 on your tube of toothpaste, but it's one of the easiest ways to start whitening your teeth, or at least to keep the yellowing at bay. Okay, so let's talk about point number 6, and that's whitening gums. Any type of gum actually is going to cause you to make more saliva in your mouth, which helps to remineralize your tooth enamel. But certain whitening gums, they've actually got things within them. I think sodium hexametaphosphate you can see that in some of the gums. Other gums are going to have actually an abrasive agent, and that's going to rub up against the teeth and help clean them. So chewing gum after you eat can help whiten your teeth. Now, let's talk about number 8. And this is the one that I want you to be really careful about. Home solutions. Now, I'm not going to say, there are some people out there that swear by them, and I'm sure that they work for some people. But here's the deal, is that you're working with, you don't actually know the exact percentages that you're mixing, and you may overdo it. You may actually damage your teeth. So you hear a lot of people talking about mixing lemon juice with hydrogen peroxide. I would be careful about that, again, because how strong is that hydrogen peroxide? How often or how long are you leaving it on there? And who's going to be liable for this? When it comes down to strawberries, I've heard strawberries mixed with salt and baking soda. That supposedly works. I would be careful again with those types of home mixes. If you've got one that's passed around in your family and you've used it before, again, be careful, talk to your dentist, make sure you're not damaging your teeth. Now let's get to point number 9, which is go see a professional. Now, professionals, they're going to have higher concentrations. It's going to be worry-free. You're going to go in there, they're going to take care of you. However, they're taking on the liability, they're doing the work, so you can expect the cost. This is probably the most costly option. An option for those of you guys that have really bad teeth, by the way, is veneers. And these are going to be very expensive. I've seen them up to $30,000. Now, you can go down to Mexico or to some other places and get them a lot cheaper, but expect veneers, and that's basically where they're rebuilding the enamel. That's going to be pretty expensive. Again, talk to your dentist. And point number 10, you ready for it? Okay, this is the one that I used. And that is actually a home teeth whitening system. And I've used a number of them. I've used Crest strips, the white strips. I've used a variety of them. And the ones that I used recently, very impressed with. What I really liked is they were mild. Over a 2-week period, I was able to use them and to see noticeable results, at least I feel. I wear a lot of white shirts, and for me, I was watching some of my videos and I was looking at some of my pictures, and I was noticing that I can see the yellow teeth, especially when you have a white shirt on very close to your teeth. And I decided to make the plunge, reached out to a friend, and again, I'm going to link to that video in which I go into the company, I go into the review, I tried out a number of their products, and so I feel I can give you guys a really good decision of where you want to go. Plus, I throw in a really cool discount, but you're going to have to go over to this video, check it out, and that is it. So hopefully you found this useful. Remember, I've got an article you can download the PDF, and we go over a lot more information in the article, because if you're going to make this decision, check with your dentist, but make the right decision for you. There's so many options out there, and it really depends on your habits, what you're going to use. The worst thing is that you read this and you need it and you don't take action. Go out there, take action, find the right solution. And gentlemen, I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.